Good morning. And joining me on the show today is the Managing Director of a company called Resource Complete, Bradley Brims. Brad, good morning and
Morning.
welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Your offering is very intriguing. You have a service offering that benefits a business that is contemplating retrenchment, as
Yeah.
well as individuals who are either being retrenched or who have been retrenched. Talk to us a little bit about what you do.
So the core to Resource Complete is really a resource agency where we're looking to provide a fit-for-purpose resource for the right time and the right place. And we've developed some tools and some key partnerships over the time to do that. But subsequent to the COVID pandemic and really this rise in retrenchments, it really led us to try and pivot to understand where we can position ourselves to really help individuals, because probably over about a year and a half ago, we went through the process ourselves. We understand the emotions and the disappointments from both the employer side and the employee side. So it was really important for us to see where we could fit ourselves in that space and really offer a service that can help both, like you said, the employer and the employee.
Yes, retrenchment is certainly not a pleasant thing for any business leader. I, for one, have had to execute retrenchments, very, very difficult from the business perspective. And I've been on the receiving end, just like you, of being retrenched. And it's a very emotional thing. But what is it that a company can do? I know companies always say that if we have a vacancy in the future, we will give you a call. What does that mean to the employee? I mean, really mean to the employee? What can companies do using your service to make that meaningful?
So I think in the context of the retrenchment is that through the service, we would obviously develop a database of people that have been affected. And by doing so, keep them available for employees to come back and reference, so they're always top of mind. I think in terms of that service as well is that the idea of implementing and using these tools is to really empower the employee. So I can touch on it in a minute, but really the essence of what we're trying to do is empower the employee so that not only are they looking to potentially come back after maybe the tides turn, but are also looking to better position themselves to find employment elsewhere.
And that's a really difficult thing psychologically. What is it that you do to help the employee? I know that you offer psychological support, mentorship and coaching. You also offer a service that helps them reprofile themselves and fix up their CV. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so I think you pretty much touched on all three key aspects of a resource market readiness program that we've coined it. It's essentially an outplacement service where we are looking to empower both employees and employers. The first part is this unique talent mapping assessment. And through that, it'll really identify and dig deep into the employee to help identify strengths, weaknesses, areas of development, and even areas of readiness. So it really gives the employer insight into themselves, because at the end of the day, we're our own best asset. So we need to be investing in ourselves and we need to know where to invest. And by default, we're building our own brands.
Right.
So if you can help somebody be the cream that rises to the top, and the idea of the process is to do that, to empower people to rise to the top, to better brand themselves and to better sell themselves at the end of the day.
We certainly do have the highest unemployment rates at the moment, and this will definitely help. So if I'm understanding you correctly, what you are doing is creating a talent pool of resources, of people across all industries and all sectors that businesses can basically access, from
Correct.
other companies that have retrenched, unfortunately, as a result of the economic climate. And then for the individuals, what you're offering is an opportunity for them to really brand themselves and make themselves marketable, but also the opportunity to perhaps migrate into associate industries or other jobs that match their personalities and their strengths from this assessment that you do. Am I understanding that correctly?
I think that's it exactly. I think, and this process lends itself to this increasing workforce of millennials moving into it, because gone are the days where somebody sticks with a job for 30 years. We're in a time now where millennials are looking for flexibility, they're looking for diversity, and they're looking to be an asset and be valuable. So this whole process, and I think it's been assisted by COVID really, because, you know, it's just, you know, particularly in South Africa where maybe we're more reserved, this COVID scenario has really opened people's eyes up to the fact that people can work remotely, people can be trusted. And as a result, I think it lends itself to short-term projects where millennials can jump in and out. They can be the right fit for the right job at the right time. You know, no longer are we trying to hit a round peg into a square hole. You can actually take a resource that is 100% fit for the job that you are looking for and apply to it, rather than maybe using a permanent resource that you have.
So you are actually creating a pool of almost freelance resources as well. So companies can tap into the pool of resources for short-term projects that ensures that a millennial, for example, is always satisfied. Young people are always looking for instant gratification, and as you say, that long-term job doesn't always give it. So you have an opportunity now to offer people access to project-by-project work to ensure that they have an income, but also to match the right people for the right project, thereby protecting companies from having this huge overhead of a permanent resource. Very interesting. So how is it that companies can get in contact with you, and how do people get in contact with you who are affected by retrenchment?
So the primary means, I would say, is through our website. It's resourcecomplete.com. And on there, you will find all the relevant information, links to LinkedIn, Facebook, etc., and as well as email addresses and phone numbers. In terms of employers looking to get hold of us, I would suggest that the best means is via telephone call or email, and we can get back in touch with you. In terms of employees seeking work, there is a function available on the website where people can upload their CVs. And I would suggest that that's the best course of action at this point. You know, if you haven't bought the lottery ticket, you can't win. So I think the first thing is getting your name out there.
We definitely need more of this in the country. You know, COVID has added to an already distressed economy, and unemployment is something that affects almost every household or every family in this country. This is a fantastic initiative. South Africa certainly needs more of it. I wish you everything of the best. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. It was wonderful chatting to you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.